I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It is a great day, and I'm so very excited to be here. I know I say that. I say that a lot, but I am. You know, who do you know actually gets paid and literally loves to talk to people? I just love it. I love when people progress. I love when people have things they have to say when they go after their dreams and their goals, and they're not sitting around just twiddling their thumbs, but they're going after it. They're doing it. I love it, and I have to have them on my show. Like my next guest, Mr. Andrew Patrick Craig, who has written his book. Now he's got a little cute little picture on the front that's kind of in the past, so we need to get him on the show. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Yaya, for having me.
Anytime. Okay, so you got to tell me, when did you start loving, writing and reading?
Well, it's a different path than that. So I'm a fifth dimensional consciousness that incarnated upon the planet to live a harsh life and understand man's inhumanity to man. And so in the process of that, I'm coming to the end game of that particular endeavor. And so I have been requested by my senior beings to begin writing. And so this is the first thing I've written.
Wow.
It's pretty special. It's I would call it a doorway to the fifth dimension of consciousness. I consider the book with my little face on it there a sacred object in and of itself. It's one of those things that's so I'm going to tell you that I was killed twice. I was run over by a car twice before this picture was taken. I was run over. The first time I was run over, I was crushed under the right front wheel, and my senior beings had to take me back to the moment, my energetic bodies back to the moment of my birth, and drop them back on me again. And so then I lived that same 5 years and 9 months and got run over by the same car, except this time I was killed by cerebral hemorrhaging. They had distracted the driver so that I could get a couple more steps out in front of the car. And, I got hit square in the mouth that knocked all my teeth out back to my molars. I had cerebral hemorrhaging and I was killed. And then these arms reached out of the sky and the hands circled around my head and healed my cerebral hemorrhaging so that I could live. So I lived that. So it's a pretty rare thing. Not too many people will tell you a story like that. But two reasons that happened. One, they wanted to change my name. My father had originally named me John Lonergan Craig. And they they had to knock the fifth dimensional consciousness out of me. And just being killed once wasn't enough to knock the fifth dimensional consciousness out of me. And the reason we're here is because after we bombed Japan in World War II with nuclear weapons, the sun was going to kill everything upon the Earth 1,000 miles deep by wrapping the Earth in a fist of coronal mass extrusion. So my people and I came over from the other side of the universe, and I guess I drew the short straw to go and experience life as a human being, because this planet, as opposed to any other planet in the universe, has a pathology in the species. The pathology is man's inhumanity to man. And nobody can understand, no higher order beings can understand man's inhumanity to man. You can only live the life in order to understand man's inhumanity to man. And so we have all come, and there are other higher spiritual groups like this also that have come We're not sure what their game is, but our game is taking the Mother Earth to the fifth dimension of consciousness, and all of her human beings who will go with her, who can go with her, and those who are not able to go with her will be reassigned to other Earth-like planets in the universe. But this Earth, this Mother Earth, is at end. Okay, the energetic bodies of this Mother Earth are not attached to the planet anymore. My higher order people have taken those to higher ground, but she refused to stay there. She refused to stay there without uh, any of her human beings coming with her. She considers us her children. You can look at your hand, and every speck of that hand was produced by something that Mother Earth produced. Okay, so she considers us her children, even though we don't look like her. And so she demanded that my peeps bring a material number of her beings with her, and at this point they think about 4 billion human beings will go with her to the fifth dimension of consciousness. Now they spent 75 years in the normal way that they do these things, and they tried to just influence the human species at different places to try and get the human species to just um, take themselves to the fifth dimension of consciousness. But the planet is surrounded by a matrix of stubborn hatred, which was just they were unable to overcome. It's the first time they've been doing this since the universe was created. There's human species all over the universe. They've been doing it since the universe was created, and they have never had to take the, they go around and they get human species unstuck. I mean, the stuckness of human species is easy to understand. You take a 52 card deck of cards and you shuffle it over and over, and you play solitaire, and certain games are not winnable. So you can ask for a winnable deck if you want to have a winnable deck, but you take 2.5 billion people and shuffle them, and how many games do you think are unwinnable? Massive a number of games are unwinnable. And so in Source's infinite wisdom, when he created the entire universe, he created these higher order beings that would go around and help the human beings get unstuck. And so When Penguins Fly is a doorway to fifth dimensional consciousness. If you read it, the joy of reading it will just bubble through you, and it will open different kind of avenues for you to more easily understand and move to the fifth dimension of consciousness when the Earth is taken there. Now, my peeps came over here at the end of World War II. So it was the end of 1945. They spent 75 years trying to use their subtle influence to lift the species, but the stubborn hatred was just too rough to overcome. And so after 75 years, they decided they had made no progress, and so they quit doing that. So now they're actually taking the planet to the fifth dimension of consciousness all by themselves, and they're bringing as many human beings as they can round up that are worthy of going and to the fifth dimension of consciousness with the planet. And right now, they think that number would be around 4 billion, and I would assume that, given their expertise in this, that it will be less than 75 years for them to do that on their own. So I think this is just a stunning development in human consciousness. It's a stunning development in the evolution of this species of human consciousness, and in the whole universe. So it seems like a kid's book, and it is a kid's book. You could read it to a kid, and they would laugh and chuckle about it. There's so much humor in it. There's so much joy in it, and I think it's a good idea to get get one that you can read to your little kids, because there are higher order beings that are incarnating on the planet now. They're completely void of whatever this horrible penchant for man's inhumanity to man is. They are more likely to be able to effortlessly shift into the fifth dimension of consciousness than us older folks, you know? And it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful thing to be part of altering the universe and to be part of saving our Mother Earth and whatnot. And there are some flaws in the book. I have made some errors and some assumptions and things like that. I've made some typographical errors and things like that. So we're republishing a different one, and that doesn't have me as a 6-year-old on it, and it's going to have me dressed like I am right now on the front cover of it. I'm doing that with Maria White at Authors Tranquility Press, and bless her heart, my book attracted her, and she got in touch with me and she read the book and fell in love with it. So anyhow, we're going to publish another one, and there will be, so the one that has the 6-year-old on it will influence your emotional body more. Just looking at the picture on the front,
Yeah.
very much influences your emotional body. And I'm 73, so the one with the 73-year-old me on the front will influence your mental body more. And so it's a broad.
Well, that's a lot. I have to go back to the beginning of what you were talking about when you said that you had passed away, and that were these real occurrences that happened to you?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
So you had an NDA twice, near death experience.
No. The first time I was killed and I was crushed under the wheel so badly that they truncated that timeline, and they took my energetic bodies, all the energetic bodies attached to the outside of your body. Okay, the energetic bodies don't go inside. So you have 6 energetic bodies: the spiritual body, soul body, mental body, emotional body, vibrational body, and astral body. Astral body is your belly button. The vibrational body is at your solar plexus. The emotional body is at your heart. Mental body is at your crown chakra. Spiritual body is at your third eye. And then the soul body, because it's immortal. It does not want to touch anything and that is mortal. And so it actually connects to you through the spiritual body. It doesn't come in direct contact with the physical body at all. The physical body is extremely limited. Okay, we live to be 70 to 100 years old. At the fifth dimension of consciousness, we have no physical body. Fifth dimension of consciousness, we have the species itself is a single organism. So if 4 billion human beings go with Mother Earth to the fifth dimension of consciousness, the single organism will be made up of 4 billion single organisms for each being that goes. And the beauty of it, I mean, the way that dimensions of consciousness are defined is by their organizing principles. So the third dimension of consciousness is defined by sex, money, and power. You can go drive down the road and look for something that's not sex, money, and power, okay?
Exactly.
The fourth dimension of consciousness is still sex, money, and power, but it has a fourth dimension, which is awakened awareness. So those human beings who speak with contempt about wokeness and about woke beings, they're just yelling at the all that's sacred in the universe. I'm not going. So pay them no mind, It's the fifth dimension of consciousness. The organizing principles are love, peace, harmony, tranquility, and unity. But the love is like the love that holds the universe together. Unity, let me give you an example of unity. So we're also, even though the species itself thinks with one mind, speaks with one voice, and we're just parts of the species, we also can independently detach from the species and travel anywhere around the world, anywhere around the universe, excuse me, and every speck of our experience as we do that, everything that we see, smell, hear, feel, uh, everything, we remain consciously connected to the single organism. And so it all goes back to the single organism, and then the single organism downloads it to every other being in the species. So that's unity, where we have the same database to operate from, where we all experience everything the other guy experienced. In
Mm-hmm.
this life, we have a very narrow set of lessons we came to learn, and we work our tail off to learn the lessons,
Hopefully.
hopefully, and then we typically spend about 3 times for every year we live. We spend about 3 years in the spirit afterlife studying the lessons to make sure we don't have to go back and learn them again. So I mean, that's way different. That's very separate and very distant and alone. So it's one of the fundamental reasons why there is man's inhumanity to man. But the other reason is because of judgmental listening. So everybody is trained in judgmental listening from the very start of their life on the planet. But
Wow.
I use generous listening now. The generous listening is I call upon all that's sacred in the universe to send me those that will inspire me and those that may be inspired by me. And
Mhm.
you inspire me. And I pray I'm inspiring you right now, right in this
Yeah,
moment,
definitely.
and all of your audience.
Definitely. I've heard this before. I've heard about the fifth dimension before. I've heard about the ascension before. It's so easy to go, oh, but I don't think it's that easy. Because see, you've traveled way further than I have outside of your body,
Right,
gone there, and you've come back. Who
right.
am I to tell you what happened over there? That's what I try to figure out. I mean, like literally speaking, okay, oh yeah, that didn't happen. That was just your mental, they were just dreaming, and they were dead. How could they be dreaming if they were dead? There's so many NDAs where people say they're floating above their bodies and then they're taken to a different dimension, they're taken to a different place, they're told different things, and they see people that they know, but not in this life.
Yes, yes.
And so I'm like, I've seen so many different things. I've seen a little boy that said, oh, that he was a black woman who passed away in a fire in Chicago. Go figure. He named the woman and everything, picked her out in photos. Never
Wow,
didn't even know her.
wow.
Little
Beautiful.
black, a young black lady. This is a little white boy
Yes, yes,
saying he was her,
yes. Wow.
and and he has memories.
Yeah.
There's so many different NDAs. There's so many different children that were born that have these. There was a young man that solved his own murder.
Perfect.
I'm like, so I'm looking at it going, don't
Oh,
be talking to me about all of this other stuff
yeah,
when you
yeah.
can explain that stuff. You can
Right.
explain that stuff, then I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. But I can't tell you. But what I can say is that I absolutely love when like people like NDAs, like what yourself, come
Yeah.
back and you say, listen, this is a part of where you're going. Because I think the fear of death and the fear of losing someone is not knowing where they went.
Yes. That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right.
Mhm. And
And
that's what we want to combat. And I think people need to have an open mind, because no matter if you believe the Bible or the Quran or this or that or the Buddha or whatever you believe in, you still don't know where you're going,
right.
because there is no absolute. You have at least a little bit of the absolute.
Yes. And it
And
is
that's
one
why
of
we have
those things. Yeah. And it is just with sufficient intentionality, you can guide yourself that way. And if you have sufficient positive energy, you can attract higher spiritual beings, who will lead you, help you. They won't tell you what to do, but they'll give you, just by the way they speak to you and what have you, you'll give you hints and stuff.
Mhm.
So it's a fascinating thing. But I took my pops to higher ground, and my pops beat me like a rented mule. I'm telling you what. I mean, it was rough. But anyhow, when he died, I had gone through all this training and stuff, and I told him exactly how I was going to take him to higher ground. And the day before he died, he was crying because he couldn't remember what I had told him I was going to do. And I laughed at him. I said, "Dad, you don't need to remember. You're going to be asleep. I'm
Mhm.
going to be doing it." And I went into inner space with him, and I went up to this, and there was this green Irish hill, and he was on a white pedestal, and I went up and slid my arms under the form of his body after I banished the evil things that were around him. And I went down the hill, and I went through
Wow.
the abyss. The abyss is real, pitch black in the abyss, and those evil little things live in that dang abyss. And my dad was heading for the abyss because he hadn't lived exactly as good a life as he could have. But I took him through ceremony. I took him to the highest place in the universe, in the afterlife, that he would be entitled to by any single deed he did in his entire life. Okay. And so that was a very high place. And when I got up there, those hands, those arms, those beautiful woman's arms that had reached out and healed my head when I was killed the second time,
The
they
woman?
were these arms. Yeah, woman's
Hey,
arms.
stop.
Yeah,
The woman.
woman's arms. Yeah.
Most people say it's not that there's not a woman or that there's not a woman healer, but most people say it would be he. It was a woman that actually, I mean,
Yeah, the
I'm not
woman.
saying like the grand being is a woman. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that the healing of a woman was around you, like a mother
Yeah,
figure. Like,
yes, that's
I love you. This is me, like putting you, like almost like as if you're in the womb and taking you back in there and fixing you up.
exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I
And
got you.
so when I get my pops to his higher ground, these same two female arms, beautiful, strong female arms, come out, and I place the form of his body. We have no mass in the afterlife, but we do have form. I place the form of his body into her arms, and she takes him back in, and the illumination of the wall of clouds goes away. And then I just go back down and back through the abyss. I'm flying. I've got wings like an archangel or something like that. And I go back out, and I come popping out of my body. And my mom's sitting right next to me there, and I tell her how the whole thing went. It was a beautiful thing. So I've been in the afterlife, and
Did he pass away while you were there? Was that what you were doing? You were delivering him to the afterlife? Was he passing away?
I was delivering him to the highest ground that he would be entitled to by any single deed he did in his entire life. And
Mm.
what my higher spiritual, well, my, you know, higher spiritual beings, what they say now is that well, my numerology, the core numbers in numerology, I've got 4 9s and a 6. I've got 3 11s in my name. I've got 3 33s in my name and birthday. I got a 22. I got 2 99s. I'm just covered up in all this powerful spiritual energy and stuff like that. And so anyhow, they say that the absolute, if you're attached to anything, including being angry at somebody,
Mm.
that you can't ascend. You can only ascend if you're completely balanced. And they said that my taking my dad to the highest ground like that, I did it without anything other than just my love for the guy.
Mhm.
That was a perfect expression of the power of forgiveness.
Mhm.
And we need to all forgive completely in order to ascend. And it gets a whole lot easier if you realize how valuable forgiving Jim Bob Jump back over there is to your ascension.
Yeah, I do know. I do know. I mean, think about it, man, there's just so many different things that people cannot, and they say, I will never forgive. Well,
Right.
that's going to be a problem,
That
you know,
will be a problem.
whether it's, abuse, molestation, rape, murder, whatever it can, whatever it is,
Yeah.
that's going to be something you really truly going to have to let go. Because
You got to.
in the world to come, when you do leave this earth, this body, I do believe that you do have to be freed from all of those connections that you have that are
Right.
going to hold you back, or even make you just as evil as someone who had evil in their heart.
Right.
Um, yeah,
Because you're dragging it along with you.
exactly, exactly. You can't drag that along with you, and
Can't do
I totally
it.
agree with you. And I know that's hard sometimes for some people to do. So, what can people expect from your book? What can they get from your book, and what do you want them to get from your book?
Well, from this one right now, they can get into conversations like we're having. They can
Mm,
laugh. You know, they can get laughter in their life. They can feel confident and comfortable that there is a effortless sort of transition to the other side into the afterlife, and there's structure in the afterlife. And
mhm,
you can take advantage of knowing about the structure of the afterlife to and a lot of it's intuitive. It's not like there's an exact thing because it. So Jesus and the all the great spiritual beings of the Western religions, they all came down and spoke beautiful wisdom into the species, but the species listened from a third dimension of consciousness. So they created churches that are sex, money, and power. I mean, and so that's the whole thing is when you go to the afterlife, how you perceive it is going to be based on where you are at the time, and so reading this book will lighten you up. It will open you up, and I call it a doorway to the fifth dimension of consciousness.
wow.
I mean, it is that powerful, and it's a very sweet thing too. I mean, the little guy on the front, you have all that just sweet little 6-year-old energy there. I went up last year on this exact day, June 4th. I was at the memorial to the Sandy Hook Elementary School kids and the 20 kids and 6 staff that were murdered at Sandy Hook. I was at that memorial and I was reading this book, this energy into their as ceremony into their afterlife. And I was inviting them to join us and come to the fifth dimension of consciousness with us and the whole thing. And I spoke it like I was creating their reality for them, helping them to let go of whatever is holding them, uh, uh, you know, at a lesser level of consciousness. I
Yeah.
honored them as having come and volunteered to be the souls that went through that. Okay, I think I said I used a term. I said it was a great endeavor. I mean, and people don't accidentally do things like we're not accidentally having this meeting on June 4th. I,
Wow.
June 4th a year ago, I was doing healing ceremony for these lovely little children and staff people that got murdered in Newtown, Connecticut at Sandy Hook Elementary. And I mean, I read it into existence 3 times, which is what you do with ceremonies, because you want the universe to know you're not just talking. You
Right.
want the universe to know this is a specific command. I'm calling on the universe to back me on this and help this happen. And so I read it into existence 3 times and I cried every time. And I don't normally cry when I do ceremony, but because I feel like you need to be sober, But
Yeah. Sometimes you
it's
just,
too touching.
yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to let it go.
You
Just,
gotta let it go. But anyhow, I just say it's one of those things. This is a spiritual object. You can buy the book and not read it. Just put your hand on it, and have it around you in your house and stuff, and it's going to draw white light to you. It's
mm,
going to draw joy to you. But it also be very very funny to read. And I really appreciate your giving me the opportunity to let people know about the book on your all of your wonderful audience that listens to you all the time. So
That's a wonderful thing. I appreciate you doing this. You know, a lot of people don't want to talk about their NDAs. They don't want to talk about what they saw because they feel like people are going to, put them down or think that they are, they're just thinking these things up. But I don't. Like I said, I mean, who am I to tell you what you saw on the other side? It's like I can't do that. I mean, I would look like the crazy one. Okay, so I mean, so we all have different experiences. Like your father had a
yeah,
different experience to get to the higher level because you were there. That's totally different from someone else who had an NDA who now is able to do these things because they understand the
right,
principle of not really being connected to this body. Someone who has never had an NDA, a near death experience, would not know what it's like to actually be still connected but yet be far away. I
yeah,
mean, they wouldn't know, they wouldn't have the slightest idea. So I think that reading books like yours and getting to know people like you and hearing what you have to say, because everyone has something different to say, right,
yes,
is very inspirational and also informational. And it keeps the fear of death at bay because,
yeah,
again, like you said, everybody has something that they have to let go in order to get to the next place. You're here, and this is probably a classroom for all of us to learn how to be one and to learn how to support each other. But we haven't learned that yet.
not yet.
We
Nope.
haven't learned that yet.
We're going to get closer and quickly, quickly.
I
So
man, let me tell you something. I wish and I pray and I speak it, and I I don't care who you are, where you come from, what kind of hair you got, who
yeah,
your parents is. I don't care. I
yeah,
just, you know what it is? If we literally supported each other and bonded together as a planet, as
yes,
a people, we
yes,
would be so much better off.
yes.
There
So
wouldn't be hungry people. There wouldn't be children that didn't have homes. That, you would take the child in. You would help each other. There would be no hunger, no homelessness, no nothing. It would be utopia.
yes, and it's possible. And a lot of the other human species around the universe live that way.
Mm.
I mean, that's the thing. It's we're
Don't
kind of the
tease
bad
me
boy.
like that. Don't tease me like that. I need a spaceship. How far are they? I'm not lying to you. Like,
I
literally, I would rather
yeah,
be there than to be here knowing that there is crime and death and shooting and murders and people who hate you for the color of your skin and
yeah,
people who hate you for the color of your eyes and people who look at you because you grew up in a home with more money. Who cares? We're all headed to death.
yeah,
Get
right,
that in your mind.
right.
There is no one that's going to get out of this alive. It's just really, we just need to stop and love
Well,
each other.
yeah, yeah, you volunteered to be here and you're fulfilling what you came to do. And it's vitally important that you are here doing what you came to do. And
I couldn't get
so,
away from it.
I'm
I
so grateful to have crossed your path. I love
it,
you. You're
it found me. It found me. And literally speaking, before I started this, I was so depressed that I probably would have gone suicidal. The moment that I found out about podcasting, the moment I found out that I could talk to people who were going after their goals and their dreams, it lit up my world.
oh yeah,
And I quit my job to do this. Like,
perfect.
this is what I do. If I don't make money throughout the month, I can't pay my bills.
I
But guess
understand.
what? I'm not going back to work for someone else
I got
because this is something I'm supposed to do.
absolutely.
And
Yeah,
you
that's right.
can't take it from me
Yeah,
because if you did, there is nothing else that I can do
there's nothing else. Yeah,
that would fulfill me.
yeah, I got that. Yeah,
Hmm.
I understand
Yeah.
that deeply. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you so
So
much.
yeah, I found what I believed I did find the reason I came here. I came here to
Yeah,
do this, to
absolutely.
try to bring people together, to let them understand, and to bring understanding, and knowing that when you push someone else up, you also have to be pushed up because you can't push someone else up without being up. I
Oh,
mean,
that's
you know
right.
what I mean? It's like, if you pick someone up from the ground, it means you're standing too.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I have some friends that are dying to hear this interview. So how do I upload it to them, or how do I get to it? So tell them how to get to
But
it.
first, we have to finish this, and
Oh,
we're not
okay.
going to
Yeah,
finish
yeah,
this without telling people that they could go ahead and go to the QR code, and that'll take you straight to Amazon. So you can go and get this lovely book right here, and that you can know when pig wings fly, and an Ascension Enhancement Project, and show it to your children, and be understanding and open-minded, because again, if you've never had an NDA and near death experience, you're not going to know what to say, okay? But we're all headed that way. So I'm going to go ahead and thank you so much for being on this show, Andrew, and for bringing your point of view, and for telling us that we need to, like, come on, people, we need to, like, unify today. Like, stop this.
yeah,
Seriously, stop this, okay?
yeah,
Like, this is gone too far. It
yeah,
has gone way too far. We
yeah.
need to stop and think. United is it's just so easy. United we stand,
It is.
divided we fall. And
That's
we've been
it.
falling for a long time.
Long time. Yeah. We're
Mm,
done.
we're
We're
done.
done.
We're done. We're done. I'm gonna get up now. I want you guys to get up with me. Let's go. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys, just be blessed. Stop stressing and help each other up. It's just ridiculous. Okay, we need to stop this now. Okay, I love you. All right, guys. Bye.
Okay.
Don't forget to follow us on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you for watching.